Authority Summit has begun in Kempton Park. The two-day meeting is in response to the outcomes of the Blue Drop and No Drop reports released in December of 2023. The reports found that there had been a decline in the quality of drinking water since the last reports issued in 2014. Ziniko Mhlaba is standing by to speak to the Director General of that department. Good afternoon to you, Ziniko.
A very good morning to you, Duduzile. As you just painted that picture in your intro, that's the information we are finding out here, and hearing from the Department of Water and Sanitation in terms of explaining how the situation is in terms of the country's state of water, especially when it comes to the management of the operations, but also the quality of the drinking of the water we are drinking, especially in some provinces which relate to the issues of the poor quality in which some provinces are experiencing or dispersing to their own communities. One of those provinces is the Northern Cape, followed by the Eastern Cape. There are those provinces that are doing much better in terms of providing their residents with clean water. Gauteng and the Western Cape obviously are leading the pack in that regard. But let's get a sense of how things are on the ground, and what is it that government is doing to ensure that people really understand the quality of water they are drinking, and what is it that municipalities are failing to do. I'm joined now by Dr. Sean Phillips, who's the Director General of Water and Sanitation Department. Doctor, we had a very tough job of explaining to us the real state of the quality of water we are drinking. If you had to paint a picture to an ordinary viewer or citizen in terms of how deep or how critical is the situation?
Thank you very much, Ziniko, and good afternoon to you and to your viewers. In December last year, we released the results of the Blue and Green Drop and No Drop reports, which are thorough assessments of the performance of municipal drinking water, wastewater, and also looking at the efficiency of municipal water systems in terms of how much water they lose for which they don't get revenue, how much water they lose through leaks. What these reports found is that there's been a deterioration in performance since the last time the reports were done in 2014. Perhaps most worryingly was the results related to drinking water quality, which showed that there had been an alarming increase in the percentage of drinking water systems across the country which were not achieving the correct microbiological water quality standards during the period of the assessment. And also alarming is the fact that many municipal wastewater treatment systems and wastewater treatment works have deteriorated in terms of the degree to which they properly treat the wastewater before it goes into the rivers. And we found that almost two-thirds of the municipal wastewater treatment plants are not treating the water properly, so that only partially treated or even untreated sewage is going into the rivers rather than properly treated wastewater.
You are painting a very scary picture, DG. And from what I'm picking up, we're in a crisis period as far as our water services are concerned. Now, talk to us about, is there a plan that's there to arrest the situation, especially when it comes to the management of these water plants and the water operations in different municipalities? How is the capacity of government in that regard?
So in terms of our constitution, municipalities are responsible for delivering water. And as I indicated, these are assessments of municipal drinking water and wastewater systems. So each municipality is responsible for its drinking water and wastewater systems. And as you know, we have municipal elections every few years. And we have a constitutional system in South Africa where we elect our municipal representatives. So our elected municipal representatives are ultimately responsible for ensuring that good quality services are delivered. In South Africa, 144 of the municipalities have been allocated responsibility for water and sanitation. They're called the Water Services Authorities, who have this constitutional responsibility to deliver water. We've invited them all to the summit to look at the results that I've described to you in detail. Because if you're going to improve, the first thing that you need to do is accept where you are and be frank about where you are. So the first thing we've been doing this morning is going through the results in detail and showing that on the basis of this very thorough scientific assessment, this is what the results are. Then the rest of the day today and tomorrow morning is going to be about analysing what are the key causes of the poor and bad performance in the poorly performing municipalities and what needs to be done about it. Now, In our assessment that we did in all the municipalities, we also looked at this question of what are the causes of poor performance. And when we looked at the drinking water and wastewater systems, we looked at them from a number of different angles. We looked, for example, at the condition of the infrastructure. We looked at whether the municipalities have the required numbers of skilled people with the required qualifications. For example, to manage a water treatment works or wastewater treatment works properly, you're supposed to have properly certified process controllers, because it's quite sophisticated treatment processes that need to be managed in these works. We looked at whether or not they're doing billing and revenue collection well. We looked at whether they're following the proper treatment processes. So across those range of factors, we found very interesting results. We found, for example, that those municipalities with excellent or good performing drinking water and wastewater systems had very little shortages of skilled staff. Their infrastructure was generally in a good condition. In other words, the municipalities are adequately budgeting for maintenance, and that they're following the required treatment processes and they're doing the required tests. So there are certain basic things that need to be done in order to perform well. And we also found that those municipalities with this poor performance had very high shortages of the required numbers of skilled staff. Their infrastructure is generally in a poor condition, which is an indication that the councils are not sufficiently prioritizing budgets for maintenance. And we also found that they're not following the right processes and not doing the correct testing, which is probably related to the fact that they have the shortages of skilled staff.
DJ, thank you very much. We'll continue a little while. I just need to cross back to studio now. Thank you very much. You can stay by for us. We are returning to you. So that's the latest to do in terms of the situation on the ground, and the state which the DG has just explained right now is not convincing at all. So this conference will give all the authorities, all the stakeholders that opportunity to engage in finding solutions. But there was that factor of accountability which Minister Mkhunu spoke about earlier on. So we'll touch base with you a bit later on. Back to you for now.